Welcome to A Recipe Reborn, featuring your favorite foods from Final Fantasy XIV. Hello, my name is Lemon Drop, and I recreate dishes by combining real-life culinary inspiration with the in-game recipe, description, thumbnail, geography, and lore. If you're into 14 and food, please subscribe and click the bell for a new episode every week. Today I am making Zoni, also known as Ozoni, which is a traditional Japanese soup commonly eaten on New Year's Day and throughout the winter season. Since today is the last day of the Heaven's Turn event, I'm just in time for some last-minute celebrating. Real-life Ozoni recipes vary by region, but always feature mochi or rice cakes. There is no in-game recipe, so I've created what I think it would look like using ingredients from Othard, plus a few others that I think make sense. There are carrots in the thumbnail, so I'll be adding those, rice, soy sauce, and sake from the vendor in the Kogani Dori markets, tuna and kelp from the Ruby Sea to make broth or dashi, and parsley from Yangsha. The description for cockatrice thighs specifically says they're good in broth, so I wanted to add those. I also wanted to try yuzu, which is a common citrus ingredient in many Asian cuisines, and I found some at a specialty store, but as you can see, they were $13 each, so I'm using a regular lemon. With my petty knife, I'm carefully slicing the zest and then cutting it into a fine julienne with my nikiri. The zest is a garnish, so I want the pieces to be very small. Next is the carrot, which I'm slicing into rounds and then using a cutter to get that cute flower shape. Here I'm blanching the carrots until they're tender with some mustard spinach. This is a common ingredient in Ozoni recipes. I like the flavor, it's really good for you, and it's easy to find in Asian markets. After just a few minutes, these go into ice water to stop the carryover cooking. I don't want them to get mushy. To prepare them for plating, I'm squeezing out the water and then cutting them into pieces that are manageable with chopsticks. Then I set them aside with the carrots while I prepare the other ingredients. I've cut my cockatrice thighs into bite-sized pieces, and I'm adding some sake and salt as a marinade while I prepare the dashi. Just to be clear, I'm using drinking sake and not cooking sake, which usually has salt already mixed in. To prepare the broth or dashi, I'm bringing water and the ruby-tide kelp almost to a boil and then removing it. Then I add the glass tuna, or katsuobushi, which is made from dried fish flakes, and simmer for a short time before letting them soak off the heat for about 10 minutes. Next, I'm straining the dashi with some cheesecloth and then giving it a good squeeze to make sure I get it all out. I brought the dashi back to a simmer so I can cook the chicken, and I make sure to skim the surface and remove all the scum and foam. I want my dashi to be very clear. Now it's time to season the dashi, give it a stir, and then set it aside on a low simmer while I prepare the mochi. It's difficult to make mochi from scratch at home, so it's commonly purchased in this dried form. It looks pretty hard and inedible, but when it's heated, the chewy texture is reborn. Don't worry, I'll be making mochi from scratch using cooked rice in the future. Please look forward to it. After grilling both sides, just look at how stretchy it is inside. Wow! Now that the mochi is done, I'm ready to garnish and serve my soup. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find Japanese parsley, so I'm using Italian flat leaf parsley tied in a knot. Here's my lemon zest, and now it's time to dig in. The broth is so intense and flavorful and brings a lot to the otherwise unseasoned vegetables and mochi. The chicken is tender and the lemon gives a really nice fragrance. I really enjoyed eating this. It was satisfying but also really light, and was a welcome break after 5 weeks of Starlight desserts and butter mochi. For the full recipe and instructions, please check out the link to my website in the description below and in the card at the top of the screen. I hope you all had a happy Heaven's Turn. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week for another recipe and another episode. Please enjoy this video of Kupo's epic wrestling-style bed takedown.